And then we had one more I wanted to do today, and it's PC gaming is being ruined right now. Pop that there, and that's by the Actman. Give them a subscription. Like it if you like the video. PC gaming is being ruined right now. So I know a lot of people who are trying to build PCs are having big issues with RAM right now. CPUs are going up in price and everything. It's all because of AI. So let's see what the Actman has to say about it.
Every tech company decided collectively that you just don't deserve to afford the hobbies you enjoy anymore.
We don't. So Lana posted something in my server earlier. It was a thing about Jeff Bezos said years ago that people didn't want PCs anymore. They wanted to rent them. That PCs were antiquated tech. And I feel like we're hitting that point where big AI companies think that that's the truth. And frankly, we don't. We don't want to rent our PCs. We want to own our hardware. Want to build our PCs and or buy a pre-built. You don't have to build it. I get it if you're not a builder, but we don't want a GeForce Now experience or a Google Stadia experience to play our games.
You want to buy an Xbox? Oh, nope, that price has gone up. You don't want to own your games? You want to just pay for Game Pass? Nope. Oof, that's going up.
Don't want to do that.
Do you want to continue to keep the lights on in your house? Oh, that's good.
So I don't know if anyone else has this issue. Game Pass. A lot of people were complaining Game Pass went up in price, which, don't get me wrong, terrible thing. Game Pass going up in price, not fun. But the bigger complaint I have with Game Pass, I don't get my money's worth. And what do I mean by that? I mean, there's so many options, so much that I never play or beat anything on Game Pass. And so month over month, I'm just wasting money if I have Game Pass because I don't actually play any games. I had Game Pass for like 9 months and I only beat like 3 games off the service that entire time. I could have bought, I think I had the $15 version. I could have bought like those 3 new games in that time, beat the games and still owned them, right? So it just, I don't know. It doesn't make sense as a value proposition for me. I know that's not how most people feel, but that's just where I'm at with Game Pass.
That's going to be twice as expensive. While it would be impossible to cover all of the various ways life has gotten worse in 2025, spoilers, it's all because of AI and the investments in
True.
That is like a can of worms. It's not a can of worms. It's like a drum of worms. We don't need to open that and go that deep, right? But suffice to say, things are getting worse and more expensive at a...
What has gotten worse for you guys? Has anything in particular gotten worse outside of, obviously, we're going into tech talk right here? Is there anything else that's gotten worse for you? Because I know people were saying groceries have gotten better for them over the past year or two compared to a few years ago. So what has gotten worse? What was better back in the old days, as they say?
Rapid rate. Okay, today, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking specifically about the RAM shortage crisis. Now, for those of you blissfully unaware of what RAM is in a computer, it's random access memory, and the more you have of it, the more your computer can handle multiple tabs and multiple different things going on at once. In a sense,
that would be your Chrome tabs, guys. Your ASMR Dommy Mommy that you have to leave on 24 hours a day in 12 different tabs eats up all your RAM.
Essential component of building any PC, and as a YouTuber, someone that heavily relies on Premiere Pro, I have 128 gigabytes of RAM. I got 32. What do you guys have? I have 32 DDR4 CL32, I believe. I have it up clocked to 3600. Groceries have gotten worse for me here, to be honest. I can't have my snacks that I really want for the price I used to. So I feel like for me, 5 years ago, I was spending about $75 a week on groceries. This is for 2 people, mind you. And then usually there'd be $75 a week, but then there'd be like 1 week where I'd spend like an extra $50 to re-up on the essentials, like a big bag of rice, big bag of beans, that kind of thing, right? Now I spend about $150 on pretty much the same stuff, right? Which sounds insane. It's over double, right? But about a year and a half ago, I was spending closer to $175. A good idea of where we're at. Yeah, you can see all the tabs I have. That's what I need my random access memory for. Yeah! Idea of how much more expensive RAM has gotten. I ordered 128 gigs
in April of this year, and I paid...
Okay, before he says what he paid, I paid for 32 gigs of DDR4 at the time. I paid $219. I'm seeing he has 64 of DDR5 for the same fucking price. That's crazy. That means RAM got cut in half over the years.
Costing $110. This same purchase would have cost me literally double that. Since just April, the cost of the RAM I purchased has almost doubled in price. But
it's about 4x for a lot of people now, I think.
It's not just RAM, even external storage has gotten more expensive, or it has just been...
I saw this video is a few weeks old now, 12 days ago, so it's not going to have updated prices on storage. I saw a 2 terabyte SSD, an NVMe. When I bought my 2 terabyte drive, I paid, it was $199. I saw a 2 terabyte drive for $600. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And AMD just announced a couple days ago that they're raising their prices on all of their product stack. And I want to be very clear. The GPUs I get, because the DDR7X, like the GDR7X that is going to be put in GPUs, that's going to be hard to get because all of the RAM going to data centers. I get that. Understandable. They're increasing their CPU prices as well. And what that means is that the wafers that they put the products on are getting more expensive because of the shortage. Because there's no other reason that CPU should go up. They don't rely on RAM at all. But the company that makes the physical thing that you put the chip on and or you put the die on for the RAM and stuff like that, or it's the same companies. That means those companies are running into a supply issue. So all parts are about to shoot way up in price.
Completely made unavailable. We'll get to the reasons why in a little bit.
Yeah, I would put your PC upgrades as far away as you can.
I'm a YouTuber and I like having SSDs, and the order went through, and then the day later I got a call saying the order had been canceled because they didn't have it. So they allowed me
that's fucked.
It, but then told me that I had to manually cancel the order myself.
Huh?
What?
The theme you'll notice is that these important computer parts are increasing in price at a rapid rate.
Astronomical rates. So did you know, maybe he'll touch on this, Microsoft, I guess, fired top-level executives over the past couple weeks because they were not able to get RAM for the, I believe it's the Surface devices that they make. They weren't able to get enough to allocate for their orders that they had planned for next quarter. So they're not going to be able to fulfill their RAM orders in their like the Microsoft tablets / PCs. And so they had to they fired high level executives over it, which sounds insane to me because they put in, what was it, $80 billion into the OpenAI fund. So like they're kind of at fault and they shot themselves in the foot about it. It's kind of great.
Complaining about? Aren't you a good consumer? You don't mind paying 2 times the price for a thing that I bought in April for half the price? It's like the housing market, man. Everything's like 10 times more expensive than it was 5 years ago.
My house, I was talking about this earlier in the group chat. My house, comfortably bought my house at the start of COVID, bought a $150,000 house. You guys know how much my house is worth now? You want to know how much my house is worth now? Not, mind you, I've not changed jobs. I've not made any improvements to it. Nothing. My house is now worth $350,000. I have done nothing to this. It's insane. 2.5x my value just existing. It's fucking crazy.
So bad for Gen Z. I feel like I just barely snuck in. I just barely got through and able to afford a somewhat comfortable life. And now it's like, dog, Gen Z can't even afford to build a computer anymore. Why is this happening? Well, AI data centers are dumping billions and billions of dollars in order to allow DoorDash drivers to fake deliver your food to you.
Have we had any bad DoorDash experiences like that? Does anyone have like DoorDash where they just fucking drop it off and disappear, take your food? I haven't I haven't had that issue. Usually something will be wrong with it. Don't get me wrong, but I've heard stories, but I've never had it happen myself.
Doing poisoning your water supply? Oh yeah, oh yeah. You like that, don't you? Just drink the poison. What are you complaining about? Just drink the poison. Raising your electrical bill? You better believe it. I got something in the mail the other day said, hey, hope you don't mind, turning off your lights and making a conscious choice to use less electricity this month.
They are subsidized. Oh, it's so crazy. They're subsidizing AI data centers by increasing everyone's bill. They're making the general public pay for this in large scale areas. So if you're, I think it was like Seattle, they had a big plant open up and they added extra money onto everyone in the area's electricity bill. And the first thing it made me think, if anyone's ever lived in an apartment with a pool, anytime they drain the pool and refill the pool during summers, it adds to your water bill for the month. And most of the time you're like, okay, whatever. Spread it across everyone. It'll be like a $12 charge, right? That's what it averages out to, But I lived in one year where they had a leak in the pool and they were constantly having to empty it and refill it, empty it and refill it as people came out and patched it and tried to fix it and kept having issues for like 2 weeks, right? We got our water bill that month and every single person had almost $400 extra added to their water bill. Our water bill was normally like $27. I was expecting, maybe a $50 or $60 bill, not a $350 bill. It was so bad.
And I'm like, what the fuck are you telling me to do that for?
Sorry. I'm getting into it a bit.
But because all of these AI data centers are basically just running thousands and thousands of computers, they need thousands and thousands, millions of sticks of RAM. Best Buy, Amazon, looking for RAM. You're either going to find prices that have increased by 2 times, or the thing is just not available.
Yeah, it just doesn't exist.
Pushed by the tech companies to heavily invest and dump all their chips into AI is having cascading ramifications across multiple different industries.
Did anyone pay attention to CES this year? So Dell came out. I didn't think I was gonna go W Dell today. So Dell came out during CES and they said consumers do not care about AI, so we're removing AI from our product stack going forward this year. Dell just straight up said it. They were like, the general consumer has not latched on and they don't like AI in their system. We're not adding it. And I didn't think I would ever say W Dell because I've thought Dells are pieces of garbage for years. They have been for a long time. But at least they know the general consumer doesn't fucking want it.
It's not just computers that are getting more expensive. Potentially Half-Life 3 and the Steam Machine have been delayed because of RAM shortages.
Oh no!
Game console also uses RAM. Oh, and check this out. RAM price increases could see next generation console release delayed. They already increased the price of the...
Sony said they're probably going to delay. I hadn't heard the Steam Machine being delayed. That's unfortunate. I really want to do a capture card into the Steam Machine versus just having a stronger PC video. Because I know, especially right now with people not wanting to upgrade to, $2,000 to $5,000 graphics cards and RAM being insane. If someone has a system and they can buy the rumored Steam Machine at the price, it's rumored to be around $800. If it comes out at that, would it be worth it to buy that $800 Steam Machine and keep your current rig as a capture machine and game that way versus just having a stronger PC? I think that'd be interesting. I think it'd be interesting to see for VTubing specifically, like for streaming specifically, because our stuff takes a lot of resources.
The Xbox this year, twice. Are they going to do that again with RAM shortages?
Fucking thing sucks!
This sucks, man. But hey, don't lose hope, because their ultimate plan is to sell you a computer that you rent. They want everyone to run a cloud gaming computer. I don't know how that works, but this just seems like yet another push in the direction of you will own nothing and be happy. You will rent everything and be miserable.
So my question is, what is the scalability of it? Like, if every single person is on the cloud renting stuff. And the reason I ask and I wonder about this is because NVIDIA has already come out. They have their GeForce Now app or whatever, where you can stream games straight through the NVIDIA app. And they've already come out and they're limiting people who pay for that service to 100 hours a month now. You're paying full price for the service. It's not like tiered out to where you pay more to play more. It's just you get 100 hours for the month and that's it. Is that just what the internet will be for people who want a game? That sounds miserable. Because like a working adult who only plays, 10 to 20 hours a week, sure, 100 hours is fine. But like the majority of people who game are not someone with a full-time job. They're like the vast majority are people in school, be it college or high school or whatever, and or people who have, a bunch of part-time jobs and the game on the side. 100 hours a month is way too limiting, I think.
Here's another thing. Building a PC, especially for the first time, is a really fun experience as you learn what all the different parts do. And
I loved it. I loved it.
Your needs best, and you customize
Linus!
your own PC build and you make it your own. It's such a fulfilling experience once you finally get it up and running and you can really experience gaming at its highest potential. I have become a PC master.
Yeah, PCMR!
Entirely, but
it's one of those things. I always thought it was such a clown show of a statement, PC Master Race. And then after being on PC for so many years, I'm like, yeah, I kind of get it.
But I do understand that PC, in terms of capabilities, like this is where you can max out. It sucks that this too is being made more inaccessible. You know what's so ironic is that companies like Xbox always like to tout how accessible all their games are and how they're making all of these accessible controllers for people with disabilities. But when it comes to
okay, so that for anyone who doesn't know, Xbox goes and they make different controllers to deal with disabilities and your ability to play. And you like, there's that guy who does streams where he plays on like a saxophone. Like they have a controller like that where you blow into it and you blow in different notes to make different sounds to do actions in games. They have stuff for, if you can only play with your feet because you don't have arm access. Like, it's so cool. I shit talk Xbox and Microsoft a lot. Their accessibility options they're building into controllers and games are very welcome for the industry.
actually accessing the components needed to enjoy gaming, nope. I just need like $1,000, please.
I'll take $1,000.
And look, I've tried to give AI a chance. I've tried to see. I think when AI was first being pushed, like a year or two after the Will Smith spaghetti stuff.
I never even saw that. What the fuck is that?
I have seen nothing but garbage. Even Merriam-Webster, the dictionary, decided that slop was the word of the year. And
Slop?
Sums it up perfectly. 2025 is the year of slop.
Slop was the word of the year. I heard they were trying to get 6-7 in as the word of the year, but it's numbers, so they didn't get it through. I didn't realize slop won. That's crazy.
Question is, are you gonna eat it? Are you a pig? Are you gonna stand for this?
No.
You know,
that's why we're playing our backlog, chat. That's why we're not buying new stuff. We're playing a backlog.
Bad video games. I've praised awesome video games, but those times where I've complained or said, "Hey, why is this game so bad?" It really feels like child's play compared to what's actually happening. That was just me complaining and being a nerd. This is like we actually have to fight against these companies because they're making everybody's life worse. Every single day, it feels like AI is ruining something new. I cannot go a single day. If I hop on Twitter, I will see.
You guys saw there was fucking Elon Musk came out on Twitter and he was like, Grok is not responsible for all the underage minors being put into sexual positions and in bikinis and stuff like that, because it's the tool being used. It's the users who are responsible. You see that shit? Fucking unhinged. It's because they allowed other people to edit people's pictures on their fucking site. It's so bad. It's such a bad take.
AI. Fake DoorDash orders, fake construction photos, fake homework assignments, fake everything. Just a Pandora's box of industrial scale bullshit polluting both the planet and the basic social contract. DoorDash driver accepted the drive, immediately marked it as delivered, and submitted an AI generated image of a DoorDash order. What's that? You wanted to eat food?
That's so bad.
Bro, SpongeBob predicted this. This is holographic meatloaf. They put holographic meatloaf on his DoorDash order.
Holographic meatloaf? My favorite!
Yeah, here's another example.
I've never had meatloaf.
I ordered a Synology NAS, which is basically a network storage device for my home. This has not increased in price, but the storage inside of it currently unavailable. When
Damn.
you try to search up SSDs, RAM, any sort of internal storage, it's gone. It's all gone. Okay, here's an order from 2023. 64 gigs of RAM, $115. Post your predictions in the comments. How much you think this costs now?
$6.99.
$400.
Damn.
That's a 4 times price increase. It's DDR4. It's not even DDR5. Oh, wait.
It's just an ordinary. Oh my goodness!
$6.44.
No, that's septupled in price. That's quintupled. It's $650 for some 2 years ago I bought for $120. The RAM, the 64 gigabytes of RAM I purchased in 2023 has more than quintupled in price.
It's crazy.
I love it. I love consuming.
Yeah. I went to post this tweet, and then the top of my feed, things ChatGPT told a mentally ill man before he murdered his mother.
Oh, damn.
If we stay on this topic for too long, we're gonna be diving deep into the iceberg. So yeah, basically, AI data centers are buying up. They're essentially monopolizing all of these critical PC components, but RAM and storage are not just critical for PCs, but also for consoles.
Yeah, they're critical for everything. You're gonna, I don't know if he's gonna touch on this. You're gonna see it in the phone industry as well. Your phones need RAM. We've already had laptop manufacturers. So last year, all laptop companies made, like, consciously, they made the decision. They agreed that 8 gigs was no longer enough, and every laptop shipped with 16 gigs. You already have all of them backpedaling and going back to 8 gigs this year for their next run-up lines, because that's all they can afford to put in the laptops and keep them affordable for people.
Smaller PCs that can run video games. All of this is happening. Everything is increasing in price, so you can enjoy videos like this.
We are
Let's go back to this article. by Tom
Holy
Henderson.
compression.
RAM
Whoa.
price increase could see next generation console release delayed. We mentioned that we had heard that there are already ongoing talks at the high levels on what the RAM availability could mean for the next generation. From what we've heard,
It means we're not getting games.
about RAM availability and what that is going to mean for mass producing consoles at a competitive price point. Lord knows Xbox is being very competitive these days. A friendly reminder, Xbox Series X during Black Friday was outsold by the Next Playground, a borderline Kinect ripoff.
It's so funny to me. Xbox could not make the Kinect work. No one wanted it. People hated it. And this knockoff subscription-based little Kinect box outsold them during the holiday. All that thing is that he's talking about, all it is it's a box that it's just a fucking camera with motion tracking, the same way a Kinect was, or the PlayStation toy back on, like PlayStation Eye toy back on PS2, right? Same idea. And you can't buy any games for it. It's a subscription. So you just have a perpetual subscription service that you're paying for, and you can get every game released on it. So they basically took Xbox's concept of Game Pass and combined it with Xbox's idea for Kinect and is beating them both. It's so silly. It's so ridiculous.
Look, okay, I'm gonna say this here. If you still want to buy like a really good PC, wow, you might have to go with a pre-built, but if you go to Costco or Best Buy, they have some really good deals. I don't know how long those are gonna last. That's just a friendly tip. Honestly, the RAM in some of those PC setups might be worth like $500 just on its own now. Thank God for Costco and fuck Microsoft. RAM modules have increased in price by several $100% in the past few months due to the demand for AI, and when the pursuit of AI seemingly not going anywhere anytime soon, RAM availability could continue to be a bottleneck, or at the very least, the RAM shortage will mean that prices will continue to hike. This is
What's the upper
especially
ceiling, I
damning
wonder?
for the console market, as consoles have historically and dominated the landscape of casual gamers, people who don't want to put $2,000 into a gaming setup.
Yeah, because you can just pick it up and play it. I cannot stress the over importance of being able to go, hey, my son wants to be able to game, be able to go into a Walmart, a Best Buy, a Target, what have you, just drop a few $100 and take home a system that you can just pop on the shelf, pop in a game, and they can play it. You don't have to worry about building it. You don't have to worry about setup. You don't have to worry about, are we getting a wireless keyboard and mouse? Are they going to be wired? Do I have a desk? Where am I going to set this up? What do you mean I need a monitor? I can't just put it on the TV and have it play as well? No. People just want to be able to plug it in and play it and have it fucking work.
Something that's like 400, 450, or even like 350, right? This is bad for Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. This is bad for the entire video game industry. It's honestly crazy. And I'm trying to stay reserved, but this does piss me off a lot. This most recent generation of consoles was also like not the cheapest.
All right. Series S started at $379. It's now $400. For the 1 terabyte, it's $449. Series X was $549. It's gone up to $600. Disc, it looks like it all went up $50. 2 terabyte Galaxy. I believe the 2 terabyte Galaxy now is like $100 more than that, though.
Cheapest. From what we understand, the situation has led console manufacturers to debate whether the next generation of consoles should be delayed from their intended.
I will say this is the first mid-generation in a long time. I've not picked up the Pro version. Like I didn't pick up the mid-cycle model refresh because shit's too expensive.
27 to 28 release window, with the hope that RAM manufacturers will be able to build out their infrastructure to produce more RAM, thereby allowing prices to drop. Here's the thing I think we're realizing is that when these multi-trillion-dollar companies are able to buy up
Bless you.
massive quantities of like consumer goods, they can afford it. We can't.
Yeah, because they got 80 billion in them.
Not 100% motivated by the push for generative AI. It most certainly has something to do with the motivation to deprive us of the right to owning things. And what was it, like 5 months ago? We had that whole Stop Killing Games fiasco. It's like, God, these companies suck so much, man. Now, I'm no economist, so take this with a grain of salt. But if my assumptions are correct, if my vibe is on point, most times when prices increase, they don't go back to the level they were at.
So we have a few recent examples of this. Cars in 2020, 2021, because of COVID and everything, car prices fucking skyrocketed. They never came back down. Cars are still obscenely expensive for a new vehicle. The car I currently have is a 2017 Passat VW. $17K brand new off the lot for that, right? That's how we paid a little bit less because ours was used, but a brand new one would have been $17K. Exact same car, no extra bells and whistles or anything like that. For the current version is $28K. Prices never came back down on that. Consoles, another good example. PS5 is still worth the same as it was day one. It's 5 years old now. We used to be able to go, PS4 is a good example of this. PS4 came out at $400. By the end of that life cycle, you could pick up a PS4 Slim all day long for like $199, maybe $249. It's to the point where when the prices go up now, they don't come down.
So, for the foreseeable and long-term future, we have no idea how long this crisis and these massive price hikes are going to last or affect the video game industry. Dog, these tech companies suck, man.
I'm estimating 2 years.
Ruining everything. It's just ruining everything, man. Yeah, it's crazy. Looking at all my past orders and all this stuff I've bought over the years to build my PCs. And here's the thing. Unlike the boomers, I don't want to gatekeep success and enjoyment from younger generations. Like, I want Gen Z and Gen Alpha to be able to enjoy the same luxuries that I was allowed to enjoy.
Yeah, you're supposed to leave the next generation to be able to have an easier life than you did for the same amount of effort. If they put in the same amount of effort, they should have it easier because of advances in technology and advances in economy, to where their life isn't as difficult as you had it because you put it in the work to make it less difficult for them. Like, that's the whole fucking point. That's how we go and thrive as a society. But there's so many people who have this mentality now of, you know, you hear it a lot. Like, you'll hear the stories about, oh, God, back in my day, we had to walk uphill both ways. Like, that's the kind of sentiment you hear. I feel like that's translated so much to people just calling younger people lazy and not wanting to work, when the reality is the world's just in a much more fucked up place than it was even 10 years ago.
No, it's all worth it. It's all worth it. The price of everything is going to increase, but at least we'll have Charlie Kirk and Jeffrey Epstein dancing in a conga line. At least we'll have that.
Oh, God.
We'll have very realistic footage of Will Smith eating spaghetti. That's worth it, right?
I know I've kind of rambled, but the last thing I want to cover is this clip right here that was posted to Reddit from Gamers Nexus.
Oh, we love Steve at GN.
This isn't a gaming computer problem. This isn't a DIY enthusiast build PCs problem. This is an everybody problem. Big businesses can outbid you and then lease it back to you later. We're seeing some parallels here.
Buy the supplies, deprive the consumer of the ability to build their own, and then rent it back to them. Microsoft and Xbox are kind of employing that strategy, but yeah, so he's on point already.
To the housing market, where private equity can create a positive feedback loop that benefits itself. Because
Can't afford a computer, can't afford a house, can't afford to live, can't afford to enjoy life.
Yup.
buying homes takes homes off the market. That increases the cost of homes. That puts more people into rentership, which increases the cost of rent because there are fewer homes on the market and more people are renting those homes. And
Something's got to change, man. Something's got to change. I rented a home for 5 years because I couldn't afford to buy one. I had to save up for a very long time. All that money I spent on rent could have been spent on a mortgage, but houses are too expensive. I literally cannot afford to get a house in the town that I grew up. This guy's speaking
me too.
way too much truth.
Me too. If I wanted to get a house similar to the same size as my current one in the town I grew up, it was going to be about $700,000. Actually insane.
case, private equity just maintains control over it and continues to snowball that. Revenue is a lot more stable if you can lease and rent people a bunch of shit instead of selling it to them outright. We see that with NZXT and with Fragile, with the rental computer program as a direct parallel. Private equity and these large companies can outbid anybody, anytime. And in the case of housing, they can just turn housing into money and make that a perpetual cash flow cycle. In the case of what we're talking about today, we think the same thing is happening with computers, where the dream once might have been to own a home, and maybe that dream got adjusted to, well, I'll just try and buy a nice car instead. That gets adjusted for some people to, I'll just buy a nice computer. I can afford that. People will continually adjust to what they think is achievable. Maybe it's a nice computer in the instance.
Moving the goalposts.
And they adjust their ambitions. But now, private equity and these large companies want to make sure that you not only rent your home and lease your car, but subscribe to your computer.
Not just the computer, they want you to rent all of your entertainment. You will not own entertainment.
I hate it so much. How many subscription services do you guys have? How many different services do you guys pay for basic things that you just always had before? The easy one is like paying for internet on consoles. That's a big easy one. Didn't have to do that back in the day, right? Internet was garbage back then. Made sense. Now you pay for it. But like when the Switch came out and it was like, free internet, and then eventually they made you pay after 2 years? Like, that shit sucked. But there's so many subscriptions. I canceled and reduced. I had 22 different subscriptions. I'm down to 4 because there were so many that I just did not actually need for things, but it was all stuff I was just used to having, so I had it. So like right now, all I have is Twitch Turbo, YouTube Premium, Crunchyroll. Maybe that's it. Maybe I only have 3. Adobe. That's the 4th one. Yeah, that's it. Those are my 4 subscriptions. But I know a lot of people with a shit ton.
Buy DVDs or Blu-rays, you will purchase a subscription to Netflix or Hulu or Fubu or Flarfa or Bingus. The way he summarized that so quickly really does kind of drive home the point that, yeah, all these tech companies and these fucking oligarchs, they don't want you to enjoy life. They just want to siphon everything they can out of you. You know what AI is? You know what AI is?
What is it? What is it, Actman?
This is the best analogy for it. AI is basically the Tree of Might from Dragon Ball Z. It's a massive, giant plant. And all it does is it sucks all of the life energy out of the planet and all of its inhabitants just so it can grow a few handfuls of fruit that the strongest fighter in the universe is going to eat to get more powerful. That's what AI is. It's a tree of might. It's sucking the life out of everything just to siphon it all the way to the top. This does. I don't know if I can finish this clip. This is actually making me angry in this video.
That's an analogy to have.
Yeah. I'll link that clip in the description if you want to watch the rest of it. I think this video has gone on for too long, but the point remains. Look, I know the running joke is like you're gonna own nothing and be happy. You should be miserable for all eternity. Don't settle for this. Keep complaining about it. Keep fighting against it. Keep posting on Twitter or Reddit or YouTube or whatever.
The biggest thing I can tell you guys is if you're wanting a PC, you're wanting new stuff, just get comfortable playing older stuff. Get comfortable with it. Try to ride it out because it's not going anywhere for a while. It sucks. It sucks so bad. We're seeing a massive retro revival. Like, did you guys know that the 3DS is back up to selling for almost $300 because people are like going and playing where the good games were instead of paying for the Switch 2? Because they're like, shit's too expensive. We'll go play the old stuff with the good games.
And pushing back against this fucking rent-based economy where you have to rent the ability to just enjoy basic necessities, okay? You gotta fight for your right to party, all right? The more we push back against all this bullshit AI stuff and rapid anti-consumerism, the better chance we have. Or at the very least, that's what we can do. Even something as simple as leaving a like on this.
I also expect a rise in emulation. I don't disagree. I was just talking to Lana. She's in the stream occasionally. I was just talking to her earlier today about how one of Sony's biggest mistakes was leaving the Vita to the wayside because the Vita has become like one of the most popular emulation devices because there was no good Vita games on it, really. There's a couple, like Persona 4, good example. Persona 4 Golden was a fantastic Vita game, but for the most part, what people use the Vita for, emulating stuff. Emulating old PlayStation games, old N64 games, Game Boy Advance, all that. I expect to see a big rise in emulation. We've said it, we've seen it, not so much said it. We've seen it for a while now where the statement is, if we don't own our games, then piracy isn't theft. That's the statement. That's the general vibe. And it's been used for all forms of media, but the most recent one is for games. That's how it's used for games. And I've always been a big proponent of if you can buy it from the source and still access it on modern equipment, you should not pirate it. And what do I mean by that? I mean, like, the big one is a lot of people pirate Nintendo games because they're like, I don't have access to this. You don't have it on the shop. I can't buy it. You shut down the Wii U shop, the Wii shop, stuff like that. So you can't buy it anywhere. And so if that's the case, then emulate it all day long. But if it's like, a good example would be if, I wanted to play Hades 2. I have every possible way to go out and buy Hades 2. So I think emulating Hades 2 is not something I would be comfortable doing. I would feel like that is over the line. But at this point, if everything's just going to be a rental, man, then fuck it. Who cares?
This video, promoting it in the algorithm, leaving a comment, sharing your thoughts, relating with other people who feel the same way, going on Reddit or Twitter and like.
If I can't buy it, if it's not available, exactly. If you don't have a reasonable way to access the content, I won't feel bad about pirating it. I think that's perfectly reasonable. I've just always been against the idea of if I do have an easy way to access it, I probably shouldn't pirate it. If I want to play Horizon Zero Dawn, like I have a PlayStation 4, I have a PlayStation 5, I don't have any right to go emulate that game.
Weak men create hard times cycle. So it's time to step up and be strong men so we can create good times.
Yeah, be strong men, chat. Be strong men.
Subscribe to Actman TV for more.
Statistically speaking, this is Twitch. You already are.
That's all I got for today. This is the Actman signing out.
Oh, that was the Actman. PC gaming is being ruined right now. that is the link to the video. Go drop him a subscription and a like on the video if you enjoyed what you saw. I am such a strong man. Hell yeah.